Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Building Tables with Charity Claire, and I'm back with a new video. Like I said, you don't need anyone's validation to do what you feel is laid upon your heart to do. In this modern time whereby likes, subscribers, followers, views all form a certain kind of validation, whereby social media kind of has created a kind of validation point, or becomes like a validation platform for us. And for me, this has come mainly up when I returned back to the streets of filming content on YouTube. And when I just started, like, my videos were getting a bit of views and here and there, and there was some traffic, coming. But I came back, and you can post a video and you watch it from your different accounts. For me, like, I realized that is an opportunity for me to ask myself my why. Like, why are you doing this? Is it for the subscribers? Is it for the views? Because if that is the case, then you're going to lose, you're going to give up, you're going to discuss, you're going to run out of that passion and the fuel to keep on going. But because it's just something that sits with you comfortably, then that is the validation that you need. You do not need the likes, the views, and that. And I can just imagine how many people have deterred. People have actually shared how that has deterred them from continuing on a certain journey, or maybe like content creation, or continuing on a certain business, because like you're not getting the traction that you feel that you deserve, And for me, I feel like purpose cannot be rushed. Purpose is okay with building slow and steadily. Because even when I make my videos, I feel like I'm not up to the best expression, or like I'm not expressing myself the best way that I think about in my mind, if that makes sense. But then I believe this time whereby there is not so much visibility, it gives me an opportunity to continue like perfecting, to continue polishing those rough edges and getting better and better. So you need to have a strong why as to why you do something in the era of social media. Like, social media shouldn't be your validation. And the funny thing is that for some of us that are parents, this is something that now we need to pass on to our children. Because if you are giving into that peer pressure of that virtual space, the virtual likes and all that, how about this young person? I'm recording a video. Yes, Kaya? I'm not understanding what you're saying. No, Kaya. No, don't do that. We now have what they call cyberbullying, and that means that your presence on these streets has to be backed by a strong why. Very, very strong why. It's the enemy of progress. So you might find yourself spiraling into the whole peer pressure of likes, or feeling obsolete because you don't have the likes, you don't have the following that you feel that you deserve, or like you're not building the following at the pace that you want to build it. I want you to remember this, that your purpose is not tied to the reception that this virtual space gives you. Because if he left the 99 for the one, when you change that one life, when you ignite hope in the one, that should count for something, if I may say. So how do you view what you're giving? Like, does it become invaluable, or does the value become less because of the following? I'd like to think that no, that is just a metric that social media has put, but you're changing lives. You can change a life even without that particular following, let alone, number two, you as yourself, you are growing, you are actually, you are developing, these skills, you are actually building onto these skills. Now, if you feel that you've grown and that is the last, or that is the best version that you can ever be, then I think you're actually cutting yourself short. Like, you're actually shortchanging yourself, because I believe like we have infinite best versions. You have infinite best versions. Like, even when you've reached your level best, I feel like there's always another level that you can actually attain to, and giving up early because of the following and all this are all lack of validation from those that you feel that need to validate you. I think you're being you're decommitting yourself to your future self, or to your best version, because there is always the best version you can aspire to. So you keeping on this journey is actually you being committed and you staying on a course, because you yourself are actually a product. You yourself are actually a banner of impact that this journey has given unto you. So I want you to keep course, and I want you to keep on keeping on, because the validation that you're seeking from the numbers, from those around you, it takes away from your individual journey of growth and development. Okay. The other thing is that you need to also trust. You need to have God as part of your bigger why. Like I said, I am a Christian girly, so I underpin most of the things that I do with Christ, and like walking in obedience. The Bible says that obedience is better than sacrifice, walking in obedience. Like, obedience doesn't have an expiration date. If you decide to walk in obedience, then you walk in obedience, and getting off course means you're walking into disobedience, or you're giving into you're giving into a place of disobedience, which doesn't serve you, because the answer will always be no if you do not try. Or even if you do not venture out, the answer will always be no, and when you venture out, then you know that it's only then that you can get to see the possibilities of what is out there. Now, for me, like on this journey of getting out there and walking in obedience, I've found that God has been able to entrust me with even business ideas in this very journey. And regardless of the metrics that I see on my channel, or the metrics that I see on my platforms, like, I have, outside of that, I've now been entrusted with more, because the Bible is very clear that if you're faithful in the little, you can now be trusted with the more, So when you're faithful with those low numbers, you're faithful with the 0 views, or you're faithful with a lack of an audience, there is possibility that you can actually now be trusted with that audience, because you will stand the course of time, and you have built that muscle of resilience, you build that muscle of committedness, you build that muscle of staying the course, even when it feels like nothing is moving, nothing is shifting, and nothing is shaking from the effort that you're putting out there. So stay the course, because that means you're committing also to yourself, and at the end of the day, how much do you trust yourself? Sometimes giving up, or that validation, is a sign that you do not trust yourself for the journey that you set to take off. You need to trust yourself more than any other person trusts you, because you're with yourself. And given that we don't know everything at any one point in time, but there's a place of growth. The people that are CEOs today, at one point they were at a certain place and they did not know how to operate things in the office, but from learning that and building upon those skills, you get to a place whereby you have now this experience, the skills, and you've built the capacity to occupy even a bigger office. So how much do you trust yourself, guys? I'm not going to edit out this this chap's voice. But I can't get your shoe. You're walking without shoes. At outside there are nails. Go and get your shoe. Well, these ones are a little bit big. So, in as much we talk about trust for other people, it's very important that we also trust ourselves. Like, we build trust for ourselves, you know, and that can only be done by self-improvement, committing to stay on course even when it's difficult, and that will prove to yourself that you can do difficult things, and then you can easily be trusted with other things. You can trust yourself with bigger things. You can trust yourself with a bigger following, and that will erode the need for outside validation. Like, the validation that comes from outside should only be an addition. So guys, this is Building Tables with Charity Claire, and once again, feel free to join my channel. Give me ideas of what you'd like me to talk about. I know I have a growing following, so what would you like me to talk about at the end of the day? You know, it's just me like rambling about my thoughts. Give me a like, share, comment, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.